starting this video by saying that I am not a doctor, not a physician. I didn't go to school for this. I am just someone who has done a ton of research. I'm someone who has been very, very sick at a certain point in my life a couple years ago, and someone who wasn't able to be helped by doctors. And I had to do my own research, and my parents did their own research, and we actually healed ourselves. I'm actually just going to tell this story. I have been debating on telling this story for a while, and I think it is time. So basically, about 5 years ago, my sister got really, really sick. She was losing her hair. She had chest pains. That was probably the predominant, I think it's just dominant, the dominant symptom. And she was just really, really sick and really tired. So after she had been sick for about 2 months and had blood work done and gone to many, many doctors, I came home from dance one night and I was just exhausted, and I went upstairs and I remember I ate like a huge plate of food. I was like watching Friends on TV, and I just passed out. I was so tired, and I woke up and I knew something was wrong. I had horrible chest pains. I was very, very sick, and my whole family, we knew it. Right away, we knew something was up. So I ended up getting sick with her as well, and my sister and I spent the next 8 months, so at that point it had been 10 months for her and it was 8 months for me, getting progressively worse. My sister was not able to walk after 8 months. We had both lost a ton of hair. I'm still missing hair over here that hasn't ever really grown back. The chest pains was probably the worst part. I still sometimes have to remind myself, like, shoulders back, because I spent so long like this in pain that, I mean, 8 months in doing one thing is hard to reverse, but it was very, very painful. It was a very painful 8 months, and it was very, very scary. Thank God my dad's work allowed him to take the time off. They paid him and let him take the time off work. And my parents just sat in our kitchen on the computer for hours and hours and hours on end, just doing research for us, because doctors basically wrote us off. We had had everything tested. We had our house tested for mold. We had been to some of the leading doctors in the country that had like written books and all this stuff, and no one knew what we had. And they had basically written us off and told us that we needed to take pain management courses because this was something we were going to live with for the rest of our lives. But the scary thing was, it was not something that was just had plateaued. It was something that was getting progressively worse. So for a doctor to not know and to just say you were going to have to deal with it while you were actively getting worse is very, very scary. And I mean, I've never actually seriously thought in my life, like, I'm gonna die. But that was a point where I remember wondering, like, are my sister and I dying? Like, dude, what's going? It's very scary when you have no one being able to tell you what the heck is wrong. Like, no one can give you an answer. So it was really scary. My sister and I spent a lot of time in and out of like hospitals and stuff, and because there was no name to it, there was also, like, no one could attach a name. There was also kind of a sense of, like, embarrassment and shame, because after about 8 months, a lot of people stopped believing us that we were sick because we didn't have a name. And they'd be like, well, what's wrong with you? And we'd be like, I don't know. And we didn't see people. I mean, we didn't leave our house, but they'd call us or they'd come over and visit. And people even asked us if it was in our head, which for any of you who have struggled with disease or chronic issues or whatever, you know that's the most tough blow, is to hear someone ask you if it's in your head, and you're just like, yeah, because what I want to be doing is sitting here in pain. This is how I want to lead my life. So it was really, really hard. So basically, after 8 months, my parents ended up finding out about people who were doing intense treatments of vitamin C, and they were doing it intravenously, which is basically just through an IV. And a lot of places won't do it because they say, oh, they're going to blow your vein, or you're going to get kidney stones or whatever. A lot of traditional doctors believe that vitamin C causes kidney stones. So anyways, we ended up finding a doctor in San Francisco that who is actually no longer alive, but he basically was the pioneer. He trained under the guy that basically made all these claims about vitamin C. So we went to him in San Francisco, and he ended up doing an IV in my sister and I of about 160, I believe, grams of vitamin C a day. Now, to give you some reference, for those of you that take emergency packets, that pack is 1 gram of vitamin C. So we were through an IV doing 160 grams of vitamin C, and we were orally taking about 80 grams. So we were taking 240 grams of vitamin C a day. And I remember my mom asked him, and she said, so what do you think they have? And he looked at her and he was like, I don't know, doesn't matter. Can we fix it? That's what matters. And it was such a different way of looking at medicine and treatment, because I was so used to Western medicine where what is it how can we get rid of it, versus a lot of times illness and sickness is a symptom of a deeper problem, a lack of something, your immune system being down because of something, or, you know, something like that. We ended up doing that. We stayed in this hospital for 3 days, and my sister walked out and she was carried in. Just so you know, that's kind of where a little bit of my background comes with vitamins. And so I don't think traditionally, I'm not a doctor, but I've seen firsthand what vitamins can do. And I'm actually going to recommend a video to you guys, or a movie to you guys. It's called Food Matters. They talk a lot about food, but also vitamins in there. It will blow your mind. Crazy. So anyways, my vitamin routine, it's been requested. So I'm going to go ahead and hop right in. I take a lot of vitamins. Like I said, I'm a strong believer in vitamins. Was not diagnosed, or was not prescribed these by my doctor. I just feel better when I take them. And yes, let's go ahead and hop right in. Oh, these are in no particular order, by the way. I do take a lot of the same brand just because I like this brand. They're not sponsoring me. They haven't sent me any of these. They don't know I'm doing this. I just kind of like this brand. So the first thing I take is this Super Omega 3, 6, and 9 with borage, flaxseed, and fish oil. I take 1 to 2 of these a day. It kind of just depends. I should probably be consistent, but I'm not. I take about 1 to 2 a day. Oh, just so you guys know, I know a lot of people say it's best to take your vitamins in the morning because it goes better throughout the day, but I'm one of those people that I get kind of nauseous of vitamins, so I actually take mine at night. Okay, so I take 1 to 2 of these a day, and this is just to get oils. Healthy oils are very good for you. They're good for evening out your hormones. They're good for your skin. They're good for cardiovascular health, as they say on here. And I don't really, I don't eat meat. I have had fish maybe 4 times since I've become a vegetarian in the last 1.5 years. I don't eat it very often. And yeah, so 1 to 2 of these a day. The next thing I take is I also take a zinc picolinate. They've done a study where they found something like, I don't even remember the percentage. I don't know, some crazy high percentage of people that struggle with acne they found were deficient in zinc. So the reason I get it with the picolinate is I also heard the picolinate helps zinc absorb better like into your body. So I was like, well, why not? I can get it with the picolinate or without, might as well get it with it. So that is why I take zinc. I just re-added this back into my supplements because I'm still looking for my solution for my acne. So yes, I take zinc picolinate, 1 a day. The next thing I take, of course, I take is vitamin C. I go through vitamin C more than anything else, even when I stopped taking vitamins for a while as an experiment, just to make sure that vitamins were really helping me and not harming me, which I talked about in my primrose oil thing. I still continue to take vitamin C just because, like I said from my story. So yeah, vitamin C. The next thing I take is a vitamin D supplement. This one is just from Trader Joe's. I take 2 of these a day actually because I don't get enough sun. Although I have been filming outside, so I've been getting more vitamin D from the sun, but I just feel like I don't get enough. I feel like I kind of avoid the sun because, I don't know, I'm a princess brat. I'm like, I'm sweaty, it's hot, whatever. So yeah, I take 2 of these a day. Vitamin D is good for your immune system. They find that, I guess they were saying there's more cases of like depression. Oh, it helps with depression too and stuff like that in places where the sun is not out as much because they're not getting enough vitamin D. So even though I live in sunny California, like I said, I'm not out enough, so I take my vitamin D. Next thing I take is this B complex. I take a B complex because I am a vegetarian and there is a certain form of B, I can't remember what it is, I want to say like B12 or something like that, that you can basically almost or only get from meat. I'm pretty sure that's the case. No, you can also get it from nutritional yeast and something else, I can't remember. But I take the B complex just to make sure I am covered. I don't want to be deficient in vitamin B. Vitamin B is so important for you. It also helps with your mood, with your hormones, and your nervous system. And yeah, it supports energy production, so it's good for your metabolism. And yeah, vitamin B is so important for you. Like celebrities get like vitamin B shots because it is so important. What I take is this Super Evening Primrose Oil. I talked about it in my PMS video. That's what it's good for. It's good for, yeah, PMS. Now, the next thing I take is a folic acid. Folic acid is good for your hair. I had a friend tell me that they saw on the Dr. Oz show that if you combined folic acid with vitamin D, it could like reduce your chances of getting cancer by 50%, which I don't really know how you make a claim like that because like cancer comes in a lot of forms, but I'm not a scientist, so sure, whatever. I know it's good for your hair. So, yeah, and it also has some vitamin B12 in it, but folic acid. I know pregnant women take, like, there's a lot of folic acid in prenatal vitamins, so. And the last and final vitamin I take is a multivitamin. It is the raw one for women. So all of the ingredients in here they're not raw, or they are raw. I believe they've just been like dried and crushed as opposed to heated, which a lot of raw foodists, I know it's a vitamin, so it feels weird getting into this, but raw foodists believe that when you heat your food past a certain temperature, you lose a lot of the enzymes, and enzymes are very important for digesting your food and just staying healthy. So, okay, so that is it. I hope this was informative for you, and especially the vitamin C thing, guys. That's something I really want to hit home. If you've been, that's our garage door opening. If there is something you've been struggling with, a sickness, a disease, like I said, I'm not a doctor. Go do your own research, though. You will find some amazing stuff. They have these doctors that really do this have claimed to have cured, like, I'm not even gonna say it because I feel like I'm gonna get issues from people, but a lot of diseases. So do your own research. Go watch Food Matters, guys. It is my favorite health movie of all time. I love it. I've seen it like 4 times. I'm obsessed. There's the car. And that is it. So I will see you next time, guys. And okay, bye. And so I have a ton of hyperpigmentation that actually makes my skin look way worse than it actually is. So I've been really nervous to show you guys because it's embarrassing. I mean, honestly, I feel like I don't even really have to give an explanation. I feel like you guys, most of you probably know what's up.